Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today I have some sewing inspiration, I guess, for you guys. Alright, so we're obviously approaching spring weather, and actually here in Indiana we've actually kind of had some spring type weather, which has been very exciting, from going from like major snowstorm to then having, you know, the temperature's been like upper 40s, low 50s. We had like rain yesterday. It felt very spring. I mean, I'm sure we're not in this to stay. Usually that's what happens, just enough for things to start to come up, and then it'll just like, temperatures will plummet and things will get zapped, and anyway. But anyway, it's got me inspired to start thinking about spring, and you know, all the different avenues are starting to tout spring. Well, the fall, I guess it's the fall and winter fashion shows, all virtually, I guess, happened in New York back in February, or just, you know, a couple weeks ago or whatever. Obviously that's for fall and winter, but you know, people are wearing spring things, and you know, it's just really kind of in the air, I guess we should say. And definitely this has been the case for me, that I have been very inspired by quite a few different patterns that I've seen people wearing on Instagram and other YouTube channels and just all sorts of different avenues. And I have made a list here of 10 sewing patterns that I am excited to make this spring. You know, just as kind of a kickoff. So these are 10 things. There's a ton of sewing patterns that I want to make this spring. This is by no means an extensive list, but everything on here, I have one sheet, but everything else on here are things that I have not yet made. So it's patterns that I own that I have not yet had a chance to make, and I'm just really feeling inspired to make them this spring and summer. So I just kind of want to talk you through what I'm excited about for the spring. And then later I'll have a video on spring looks, ready to wear, street style looks, and patterns you can use to make those. And then I'm probably gonna do some plans videos. I think I am going to work. If you watched my Style Maker fabric haul, I did have a kind of a color palette that emerged there. So I think I may do my own little mini capsule sew-along module, not sew-along, but a module for myself for the spring and summer, and you guys are welcome to join me if you'd like, of course. But yeah, I'll probably do some plans and stuff like that. So this is by no means the extent of my planning for spring sewing. I just kind of, this is what is inspiring me right now, and these are 10 patterns that I really, really, really want to get to, probably sooner rather than later. So let's dive in so this video doesn't end up too terribly long. All right, pattern number 1. This is, and then like a lot of these are not new patterns. There's a lot of these that are, some of them, a couple of them are newer, but a lot of these are older patterns. So there's no rhyme or reason to this. But pattern number 1 is the Closet Core Patterns Blanca Flight Suit. I have been wanting to make this pattern since it came out. I've owned it since it came out. I even have fabric for it that I purchased, and I bought one of their kits. So they've got a, I guess it's the hardware kit for the buckle. I'll show you different versions that are available on this pattern. But her kind of chartreuse green one that she's got, kind of the lime, I loved. Now, this isn't necessarily one of my like best colors. It's a little more springy, less autumn, but I think maybe it lends itself more to like the brownish goldish green that maybe I can probably get away with it. With correct lipstick, you know, accessories, we can probably make it work. Yeah, but I want to make the short sleeve version. And I want to make the wider leg pant. There is an option that does like a little snap that kind of makes it a skinnier leg, and then it can unsnap to be the wider leg. I'll probably just do the wide leg, probably the cropped. And I want to do the belt that has the actual hardware, because I do actually already have that. And I've already bought a zipper for it, everything. I just haven't gotten a chance to make it. So that is right at the top of the list. I really want a flight suit. I just want to see, I want to play around with it. I want to see if that's even a style I like on myself. You know, I'm only 5'2" and I'm busty. So we're gonna step out and see if this is a silhouette that I like on my body. I've never tried one. I mean, I could go in and try one on. It's just the thing is, because of my boobs, a lot of times jumpsuits and patterns can get really short, which is odd because I do have a very short torso, but my boobs take up so much space, and then I have to buy one size for my boobs. I just don't feel like I get an accurate reflection of if I like a style necessarily when I try on things in a store, because the fit is just so off in order for it to get on me, just because of my proportions. But anyway, All right, so that is pattern number 1. Pattern number 2, I have 2 from this Anna Allen patterns. I've never made any of her patterns, although I have seen this first pattern I really want to make of hers is the Persephone Pants. And actually, I think this is going to be the one that I use for the one pattern 3 ways for the bottoms. Now, the size range on this is very small. I think it goes from a 0 to a size 20. Not very small, but it's small. It's not super inclusive. But this pattern is actually very similar to the Love Notions Glissando pants. There's no pockets. It's got a button fly, and I am going to be changing the button fly to a zip fly. And one of the, I'm going to do a hidden button fly, an exposed button fly, I think, and then a zip fly. Actually, I have like 6 or 7 different pairs I want to make of this pattern in different lengths. I want to make a full length one, a crop length one. I want to make the shorts. I want to make it in a few different fabrics. I think I'm actually going to use this one with my pleather and make a pleather pair. That's going to be a sew the look that hopefully you'll be seeing here soon. Those are going to be the first pair that I make, I think, testing out the fit and all that kind of stuff. There's no side seams on this pants, which is very interesting. It's just the inseam, and then you get your shaping from the darts in the back. So I think that's going to be a good style for me because I am so straight through my waist and hips. I think I can probably just play around with the darts in the back to get, like make the smaller size to fit my hips and then play with the darts to get it to fit correctly on my waist and then just cut a really long waistband that then I can trim as need be. So yeah, I really love this pants pattern. And again, it's been around forever. So many people in the sewing community have made it up. And it just, I went down a rabbit hole on Instagram just this weekend, kind of looking at all the different versions. I wanted to see if anyone had done full length one, because the pattern actually is just cropped in shorts. I mean, full length would just be a matter of lengthening it to hit the floor, and there are quite a few beautiful versions of full length ones, so it confirmed my suspicions. I just have a lot of visions of, I have a lighter cut of denim right now that I got from Minerva, and then I'm waiting on another, I'll show it to you guys in a plans video, but, and then I have another lighter cut, like almost a whitewashed, bleached kind of denim color that, but a heavier weight denim that is coming from Style Maker Fabrics that, I had to order a fabric that I needed, and so that one snuck in there too. But I just have a vision of the real fitted waist, you know, fitted through the hips, wide leg pants. I feel like that's very in. You saw that a lot on the runways back in the fall for the spring. So that kind of a lightweight denim with really loose linen shirts that are tucked in, but kind of billowy. And you're gonna see those here too. So that's the vibe, that's the feeling I'm getting right now, and I think these pants can make it happen. All right, third pattern is the Anna Allen, I'm gonna call it the Philippa Jeans. It may be Philippa. Again, I think I mentioned that we have a Danish family in our neighborhood, and her middle daughter, the middle daughter is Philippa, and this is how she spells it. So, but that's the Danish pronunciation, so I don't know if that's how this pattern designer wants it pronounced. But anyway, the Philippa jeans are just a straight leg jean. I think I mentioned I'm kind of just, nothing wrong with skinny jeans. I think that's a very classic silhouette that will be around forever. I just am feeling more of a pull towards a wider, more relaxed leg, straighter leg. That also helps fitting for me immensely because I have an extended calf. I have large calves, and so skinny jeans can get caught on those really easily. So anything that skims my calf makes fitting in the back of my leg much easier. And this is a straight leg jean. In fact, this is meant to be made with selvage denim. Selvage denim is usually comes in very narrow widths, like 30 inches, and it'll have a really beautiful selvage on both ends. And the idea is that you, the patterns that you use for this selvage denim in order to take advantage of that beautiful selvage edge is that the side seams are completely straight. So you get all of your shaping in the body of the garment. So through darts and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different than your typical jeans pattern, but this one is meant for selvage denim. And that's kind of why I really was drawn to this pattern. I have some white selvage denim that I got from Metro Textiles, and I want to make a pair of straight-legged white jeans. This pattern is also high-waisted, and I'm going to play around. I'll most definitely have to lower the rise because, again, I'm very short in the torso. From my waist to my shoulders is really short. From my waist to like my hip crease, like the crease in my leg, is short, but proportionately it's not as short. So from the waist down, I'm longer than from the waist up, if that makes sense. I have a very short upper body. but I'll probably still need to remove some of the rise, I think, out of these. I was kind of glancing at both patterns a little bit. I'll probably take out 1 inch to start with and then go from there. But yeah, I'm very excited about those. All right, next up, Simplicity 9098. This is one, I have a whole bunch of patterns that I got in my most recent pattern haul that I'm gonna be making up for the spring and summer that I just really wanna make up, but these are just the ones that are really calling to me right now. And this is one of them. I wanna make this up, the top version. I wanna make the dress too, because I love the color block that this pattern has on the front, and I think I've got some silk that I got somewhat recently after Christmas that I think it would be beautiful in, but I really wanna make up the top, and I wanna make it in a white handkerchief linen. Very specific. I just love the sleeves. And I love the neckline on this. You know, it's kind of, not really square, but kind of oblong a little bit. Fitting on this one might be kind of tricky. I haven't looked at the pattern pieces yet to see how I'm gonna be able to do a full bust adjustment, because I'm gonna need to do a full bust adjustment in this one. I'll need to play around with that, but these sleeves are so good. And I have visions of wearing this. I'm currently knitting myself a cream colored sweater vest, and I have visions of this big billowy sleeve underneath in the white, like a white handkerchief linen underneath this cream colored sweater. That's what I'm visioning. And this sleeve is just so good. So yes, I can't wait to make that up, and that's what I'm envisioning with that pattern there. Also, I just bought this pattern. Style Arc just did, it just ended yesterday. I'm filming this on Monday, it ended on Sunday, but they did 25% off on all their PDF dress patterns. And I bought this one, and this is the Style Arc Clementine woven top. I just love the neckline on it. I love the sleeve, but the square neckline was just gorgeous. And it was considered a dress because it has a dress option as well. I bought a few others too, but this one it's one of their newer ones. I just really loved the neckline on this. Now they have it worn out in the sample pictures that you can see here, just so you can definitely see the full top, which I get, but I'll probably definitely tuck these in. I keep saying definitely. I'll probably tuck this in. I could also see this top. I see this top kind of in a white as well, or I could do it. I have, I bought a whole bunch of linen at the end of the season last summer from the fabric store, and I think that maybe in one of my, and all in my colors of course, but I have kind of a, oh, I don't know what color you would call that, kind of a chestnut color maybe, pecan kind of color, a warm brown basically, that I think it would be really cool in, but I can picture it also with my orange pants. I could also see this top in white, just like they have it done, and a silk would be gorgeous. But for some reason, I mean, you all know how I feel about linen. I'm just ready for the linen to come out and play. But yes, that top would be gorgeous in some of my silks that I've got as well. Okay, next, there's no real rhyme or reason to these. I was just doing a brain dump basically for this video. But next, Vogue 1650. This is actually our next sew along for this trench coat. I've had this in my stash since it first came out. I love this trench coat pattern. I've not played around with the pattern yet. I haven't even pulled it out of its packaging yet to like look at the pattern pieces, because it's pretty fabric hungry. It calls for, I think, almost 4 yards of fabric for my size, but I have 3 yards of this really gorgeous cotton, is it a twill? Kind of, that I got from Metro Textiles. It's kind of in a fire engine red color that I really want to use, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Sometimes because I have to shorten pieces so much for my height, I can get away with quite a bit less yardage just because the pattern pieces have to shrink up so much for my height, but I need to play around with that a little bit. So I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to use that fabric, but fingers crossed I will. But anyway, this will be my next sew along, and I'm so excited about it because I need a trench coat. I need a coat. No, I really don't need any coats because I've made so many this fall, but I don't have a trench coat in my wardrobe right now. So yeah, we need to add that in, right? Anyway, I've been excited about this pattern and wanting to make this up for some time. So I'm very excited that having it as a sew along will be the push that I need just to sit down and actually get that made up, and it's lined. It's going to be beautiful. So yes, I'm very excited about that one. Next, number 7, I have 2 Liesl & Co. patterns on here. The first one here though is the Fitzroy Blouse. Now she released, I think it was 4 patterns not that long ago, and they were all really, really cool. And I bought 3 of them, 3 of the 4, I think, because she was having a sale. This was probably right after Christmas. I think she had a 30 or 40% off sale. And I bought, I think, 3 of the 4. The 4th one that I didn't buy is almost like a sweatshirt pattern that's very, very interesting, and I was tempted. But I did show some restraint because I have a ton of like sweatshirt type patterns, and I don't wear sweatshirts that often, especially boxy sweatshirts, because I can get lost in that shape. I'm trying to be much more conscious of not just buying patterns because I love what it looks like on other people, but being conscious like what I actually wear. Because I'm busty, things have to have shaping, even like a sweatshirt. That's why I was such a fan of the llama sweatshirt that Itch to Stitch put out, and even their new Bainbridge pullover that I tested, because there's bust darts, and so even though it's boxier, there's still shaping and fit in there, which I'm just finding I like a lot more on my own personal body. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is the Fitzroy blouse we're talking about. I was so drawn to this. I love the cuffs on this shirt. I love the neckline on this shirt. It's just so different. And you know how I feel about a good button-up shirt. I thought this one would be a lot of fun to play with. Number 1, in linen or any kind of cotton lawn shirting. I think in a print this could be gorgeous, or even in a solid. I wear a lot of solids, but I can, you know, oh, Liberty, a really cool Liberty Tana lawn. This would be amazing, and a beautiful Liberty. But yeah, she does cup sizes for her patterns as well, which is also why I like them, because I have to do a little less fitting. Usually just a narrow shoulder adjustment and I'm good to go. So I'm very interested in this and want to make up one. And I don't even know what fabric I'm going to use. I have a ton of stuff in my stash as I'm looking at it here. I'm sure I've got something that I can easily use, or even one of my newer fabrics that I got from my Style Maker fabric haul recently, because there's some shirtings in there. And just, yeah, something a little different than just a regular old button-up. Next is Sewing Patterns by Mason, the Sicily slip dress. This went around a ton on Instagram. 10 of people made this. Again, I've got some beautiful silks that I recently added to my stash right after Christmas. I think that this dress is gorgeous. It is 100% my 90s teenagedom coming back to life, because I've seen people putting like this over t-shirts, which is how we wore them back in the 90s. But I really love it. And she has 2 different versions. So there's the thicker strap version, which obviously you could wear just as is, or there's the spaghetti strap version. Christy Russell, you guys know I love her channel. I just like the way that she dresses. Has an ivory colored slip dress that has a little bit thicker straps. Not as thick as her thickest ones, but in between. Like, it was thick enough to cover bra straps, that she has styled a whole bunch of ways on her channel. And I fell down a rabbit hole on Pinterest looking at different ways to style a slip dress with wearing things over it and under it. And there's some beautiful renditions, because I'm like, oh, do I want an ivory one or do I want one in a pop of color? I don't know. But I think that this could be a really, really fun silhouette to play around with as we go into the warmer months, just with layering and, you know, different ways that you can style it and wear it. And yeah, it spoke to me. I love it with tennis shoes. You know, I've got my white sneakers now. Yeah, it spoke to me. So you'll be seeing that one here. Maybe a little bit closer to when it warms up. It's still a little chilly around here to wear a silk dress, but yeah, that'll be coming. The second Liesl & Co. pattern that I put on here, this is pattern number 9. This is the Liesl & Co. Yannicka jacket. Oh, I love this one too. And I love this in a bold fabric. I love the neckline on this. I love the back with the little bitty cutout. It's just a gorgeous cropped jacket. I think it would be beautiful over fitted dresses. It'd be beautiful with skirts. I think it'd be really interesting in denim, kind of a different twist on like a denim jacket, but I really love it. I mean, she's got it in this pink, like real statement brocade, maybe even. Oh, it makes me want to, like, this is a jacket for a really cool piece of fabric, basically. And I have some of those in my stash. You know, I'm sitting here looking. I think it's a lined jacket as well, so you could even do it in a wool, or I've got an embroidered cotton that it would be really cool in. It isn't really my colors anymore, but, you know, we could play around with that. Yeah, anyway, I think that this jacket is really, really cool and would be just a perfect thing for some statement fabric. I need to look at the pattern. Again, I bought this, you know, shortly after it came out when she had her big sale. I think it was right after Christmas. But I need to look at the yardage, because that could be, I could have a lot of things in here, you know, like shorter yardages, because it is a shorter jacket. But yeah, I think it's a really cool one. You can even almost do a twist of like the cardigan type jacket, kind of, off of it. Maybe play around with trims. See, now I'm looking at something else in my stash. That's the problem with having, my stash is, almost all of it is right behind you, so. Just getting very inspired. And then finally, this was my little bit of a cheat pattern. Sorry, I had my tablet in my lap, so I didn't miss anything. This was my cheat pattern. This is the Closet Core Patterns Sienna Maker Jacket. Now, I have technically made this jacket before. I made it this time last year, and I made view C, but I feel like view A and B are so different than view C that it's almost like making a different jacket. But I really want to make the longer one. I think it's view A. A and B are very similar, it's just B is a little bit shorter than A. But maybe B, maybe the shorter one would be better on me. I just think that this is so interesting, and I like the D-ring. And now I'm trying to remember, when I bought the Blanca flight suit kit, did I buy one for the Sienna Maker jacket? I may have. I need to look in my stash. I also have quite a few D-rings and stuff left over from my Huxley bag that I did. I had some extra pieces from that, so I think I've got stuff to really up the hardware factor on this jacket. But I think, again, in a heavier weight linen, it would be so beautiful, or a lighter weight like tinsel denim would be really amazing. I just think that this would be a fantastic spring piece to wear as a little extra something to throw on. Yeah, I just really want to make the other version of this jacket. And I think this is a drop shoulder, that jacket is a drop shoulder, but I think I am going to take, so is my shirt that I'm wearing, but I think I am going to take it up a little bit. I feel like my view that I made, I love it. I mean, it's going to get a ton of wear this spring and summer, but I think if I were being picky, even though it's drop shoulder, it's a little too drop shoulder on me, and I think I would take it up, narrow that shoulder just a little bit. But anyway, so easy to do on the pattern. But there you have it. Those are the 10 patterns that I am just really feeling inspired to make right now for the changing seasons. There's a few others that are, I know another one that it's not out yet, but they've been taking us along on the process, and it's the Cashmerette, what are they calling it? The Auburn Blazer. She has mentioned that they've added, she had a Instagram store, or what's it called? IGTV, I guess, whatever. I get confused with all that. But she was talking a little bit more about the pattern, how she hopes that it's released in March or this month, or she said next month. I would assume she did that in February, so I would guess they're shooting for March, which would be fantastic if that could happen. But she said that they have added another view to it that's a little bit more of a cropped jacket that looks really good with like dresses and full skirts. Which just sounds really cool. And I've been looking forward to this blazer pattern for quite some time, because she's gonna have her cup sizes and stuff. And I don't know actually for certain if it's gonna be in the whole new size range. I would assume it would be, you know, that all new pattern releases going forward would be in the full size range, which I think is a 0 to a size 34. I think it's a 34. And then with all the cup sizes, I would assume that but you know, I don't know that for sure. I'll be very sad if it doesn't come in the lower part of the size range. But anyway, I'm looking forward to more of their patterns coming out in the whole expanded size range now that they're doing. So very exciting. Very exciting things coming as we get into warmer weather and just a lot more brighter colors. And I think I'm gonna have a really fun time this spring. Now that I've had a full year of sewing in my color palette under my belt, I think that playing around, because I'm an autumn, like a true autumn color palette, that I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing around with those colors, but making them spring. And just the ones that really fit into my palette and making those as springy as possible. So, and I did do that with the Great Module Sew Along last year, but looking forward to kind of delving a little bit deeper into that and thinking a little bit more outside the box. So yeah, exciting things for spring. That is all I have for today. I hope that this was helpful, maybe gave you some ideas of some things you may be interested in sewing for spring in the summer months. I realize that half of you all are going into fall, but a lot of these can be, you know, spring and fall. I think it's really just a lot of times fabrication that's the difference. They're very similar seasons, just, you know, maybe you would do a corduroy in the fall where you might do a heavyweight linen in the spring, but you can kind of do the same type of pattern. So hopefully this was helpful. Okay guys, that is all I have for today. I will be back on Friday, and I'm not really sure yet what Friday is going to be. It's either going to be a knitting lookbook. I have some things to show you. Finished my daughter's sweater, so I'm ready to show you guys 2 sweaters and then a pair of mittens and a cowl that I've knit since the last checkup. So it'll either be that or it'll be a sew the look. I'm not sure what order those videos are going to come in quite yet. But that's all I have for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Yeah, and I will see you guys on Friday. Have a good one.